I think this lady's crazy.
Whether they told you to write it or a leprechaun told you to write it, you wrote it, you signed it, it's a statement.
Now, I won't lie, I am stringing her along to...
The fact that you go behind my back always, repeatedly, trying to find and divulge information that's not for you to know.
Huh?
Well, but she's jerking his chain. I mean, I get it.
Do you understand me? I'm sorry I wasn't done talking.
351 to 97. 1759, 1056 on meter. Correction, that's going to be negative on meter.
You ready? Now, how did you get this wonderful vehicle to drive around?
I hate it. 58.
15, game time.
I'm Officer Tuck.
Oh, sorry, my hands are.
You are?
Jennifer?
Hey, Jennifer.
I'm for.
You left your lights on.
I did. I got my car running.
For showing 1070 1801. 1801.
You can sit right here.
253 same traffic.
1801.
He's just gonna sit in the.
Are you recording this?
No, look. The reason I had him here is because you guys have made allegations that I've masturbated with that blue bacon guy, and that I was fired from the sheriff's office. And so I just want to have a witness here, so that later, if you decide to make more accusations, that there's a witness.
This is a great start.
Well, no, I'm just being honest with you. Okay, so how can I help you?
I think he was just joking.
Who's that?
Jeremy, when he said those things, I don't think he was sincere.
Sheriff,
Well, he said I was run off from the sheriff's office.
1802.
I was taking pictures of his ass with his jaw. Well, I mean, look, it is what it is.
Sure.
I just don't, if there's a witness here.
There's safety for everybody.
Right.
That's all. I'm not here to do anything, but I'm his witness. That's all I am.
Interfere or anything like that, but anyway, I can help you. I'll help you.
Dispatch 254, same traffic.
Okay, well, first I want to apologize for that.
Yeah, no problem.
251 10
That's
check.
very nice things to say. So I want to apologize for that.
1806.
That's nice. And I apologize for not listening to you
Okay.
because you were right
About?
Jeremy.
Oh, what about him using you? Yeah. I figured at some point that would become obvious. Apparently it has. That's my phone. I think that's probably either my email or my text message. Make sure it's
I feel like I've seen you before, but I just don't know where.
10-4.
I'm never in trouble with you.
So how did you figure that out?
Well, when he didn't file for divorce when he got out.
Right.
1803.
I understand like the pre-trial release situation. I didn't know at the time. I didn't even know he was released. I had my phone on Do Not Disturb, and at like 1 o'clock in the morning, I got like 3 calls like back to back to back from the jail. And we always said when he was released, I would pick him up. So I assumed it was him. I called back. They said, yeah, he just been released. I went up there. He wasn't there. And then, I don't know, I tried to figure out where he was. Long story short. And it was like, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was going to be he and I.
Right. Well, no, and I know that because I mean I've listened to most of the jail calls, and so I listened to, when you. I mean, I listened to when you told him about the baby, and he told you that he wanted you to get an abortion. And in fact, I mean, he constantly hounded you about getting an abortion. I mean, I heard him tell you that, that his wife had 2 abortions. And
I know.
I mean, you don't really believe any of that, do you? I mean, his wife had 2 abortions while he was off fighting terrorism or whatever the hell it was he said. You know that's all bullshit, right? I mean, you're aware
He
that's
said
not
when
true.
he was away.
Well, no, he said he was in the Middle East and he could die or something, yeah. So,
I know he wasn't in the military. His family told me.
Right, and I seriously doubt his wife had 2 abortions. I don't know her, but she seems like a very nice lady. And
She's not.
well, I don't know. I mean, what I know about her, I know from essentially listening to the jail calls between the 2 of them. What I know about his mother, I know, by listening to the jail calls between he and his mother. I've never met her, and I've never met his wife. So, and so, but look, I mean, I really knew at the time, when I was listening to those phone calls when he was telling you that he loved you and that he was going to, if you have the abortion now, we'll have another baby later. I didn't do it at the time. It was all bullshit. I mean, because I was listening to him talk to his mother and then tell his mother, essentially, he needed you to get a hold of Michelle Latham and drop the case. I mean, you remember those conversations where he told you, he was constantly on you telling you, get a hold of Michelle Latham and drop the case.
Sure.
Right. And then, he needed you to go down to professional standards at the sheriff's office. And he essentially said that to his mother. I need her to say certain things in court, and I need her to say certain things to internal affairs. And as soon as I'm done with her, I'll run her off. I mean, he told his mother that. He loves his wife, and he's just using you. I mean, and so, I feel bad for you, but I mean, that's essentially what was going on there. But I'm not sure how I can help you with that.
You can't help me with that. What are you all allowed to investigate? Because I was told you weren't allowed to investigate anything having to do with him now.
Who told you that?
Jeremy says there's like some, Ramsey was on the stand and said that Orange County Sheriff's Office can't bother Metro State anymore.
Well, my understanding is that yes, I think there's been some direction over there that they're not to bother him. And that's at least my understanding. They're not to, I think, but understand other agencies I don't think have been given that type of direction. And I don't know, and I honestly don't know, I really can't tell you what direction the sheriff's office has been given. But obviously, if a crime's occurred, it needs to be investigated.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know if you talked to Lynn Court from Osceola.
Okay.
A sex offender coming up to Lynn Court. Anyway, so I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say that like I'm doing this from the bottom of my heart because I care about the community. I'm pissed off.
I get that.
So I gave him information about just registration things that were not registered properly. And there's like this fine line because I don't want to get myself in trouble. And I feel like with Jeremy, I've always been like this close to getting in trouble. But go ahead.
Listen, we've all. I mean, I had never heard the name Jeremy Dewitte until we arrested him in 2019. I never really worked traffic cases when I was at the sheriff's office. I spent my last part of my career up on the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, so I really wasn't even at the sheriff's office for the latter part of my career. I was maybe at the building once a month at that. The rest of the time I reported to work at the FBI office up in Maitland. So but when a lot of that stuff was going on, I wasn't even around. I mean, back when they first started investigating him and they were told to stand down, I wasn't around for any of that, okay? I got involved in this. The only reason I ever got involved in this case was because after the officers arrested him, he and Amir Ladon came in. That's an ice machine. It makes ice. When he and Ladon, they came in and filed a complaint. I'm the only detective here, so I was assigned to follow up the complaint. And quite honestly, I kept the complaint open for a very long time because Amir Ladon repeatedly said that he had video evidence of officers involved in misconduct. Had he not said that, we probably would have closed that thing back in 2019 because when I went to investigate the things that Jeremy said, then that a lot of what he said, that Sergeant DeStefano was fired from the sheriff's office, and he said that he was a quitter, get fired. All these, and that he filed complaints on DeStefano with internal affairs. All that was pretty easy to check. I mean, it took me, probably less than a week to reach out over there and determine every bit of that was untrue. But Amir Ladon, he's a lawyer, he's an officer of the court. He claimed to have video evidence of police officers engaged in misconduct, so I kept the complaint open. And in fact, I didn't close that complaint until when I spoke with him down in at the courthouse in Osceola County. It was the last time I asked him about it. I said, Mr. Ron, you claimed that you had this video evidence, and he again said that yes, he had video evidence, and he had this thumb drive that Jeremy gave him of the officers engaged in misconduct, but he still hasn't given it to me. It's 2021. So when I came back and I explained to the chief, the police chief here that I'd spoken to him down there, and he still didn't turn over this evidence. The chief said, "Close it," so I closed it.
Right.
But I wouldn't even be involved in it really if it wasn't for that. So.
I mean, there are videos I want to give to you.
Okay. Videos of what?
Jeremy. There are a lot of videos, but I guess the most recent ones are from like January, February of this year, obviously, of Jeremy doing the same thing.
Like pulling people over and stuff like that?
I think he's held some people over and then using sirens and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, where is this occurring?
On escorts, but obviously it's
but where?
Orange County, and I think we were headed into Seminole.
Okay.
But I would have to look at all of it.
Sure. I mean, I'll certainly take it, and I can turn it over to the agencies. I'm not sure how much. I don't know whether I should investigate or not. You might want to try the Florida Highway Patrol. I think if you have video of him committing crimes in Osceola, I believe they would investigate it. If you have video of evidence of him committing crimes in Orange County, you may want to consider taking it to the Highway Patrol. I can reach out to somebody over there and find out if they're interested. But I mean, unless it occurred in winter here, we would investigate it.
What about Seminole County?
I would imagine they would investigate it as well. Is it recent? But you're saying this is recent, right? I mean,
yeah, this year.
Because we turned over the video evidence to Volusia and Seminole.
Yeah,
But I think the problem was that it occurred so much time had passed that there's a thing called statute of limitations. That if you have evidence of a crime. And it happened 5-6 years ago, unless it's a real serious crime, it can't be prosecuted. So if you have evidence where it occurred recently, okay, and there's somebody that can say that was Jeremy, then certainly somebody could follow up on it and investigate it. Absolutely. And of course, these would be things that these would be offenses that he committed while he was out on bond. So that may. You may want to contact the state attorney's office because it may be something that revokes his bond. I don't know about that. I can contact the state attorney's office Monday and I'll tell them about our conversation and tell them that you have videos of him doing this stuff as recently as January, and at least they'll be aware of it.
Okay.
As far as the Orange County Sheriff's Office, I don't know what to tell you there. I mean, I know you had a conversation with the undersheriff. Can you reach out to him and talk to him about it?
People keep saying that. That was so long ago. I mean, we just had like a conversation.
Right,
It
but
wasn't,
what I'm
like-
saying though is,
Yeah.
if there's somebody there that can get it investigated, it would be him. I mean, he's the number 2 guy in the entire agency.
Right.
If you said to him, I have this video evidence of him committing crimes, he might be able to get somebody to investigate it. I mean, that would be something,
As far as the stolen Valor thing, you guys don't have any evidence of that, right?
Well, I mean, listen, I don't spend a whole lot of time on YouTube other than.
No, I'm not even talking about the video,
Right.
I'm just saying in general.
No, I mean, I've seen videos of him running around dressed up in an army uniform, but I've seen, there's video of him on YouTube running around dressed up like a police officer. Yeah, I don't,
Yeah, I contacted them today.
Who,
It's called, I have their information. They called me back.
the military,
Yeah, it's like the what is it called?
like the Inspector General office?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I gave them the information, they asked for a social and all that stuff, and they were asking, I have to, I guess, some links or whatever, and then pictures, and then also, I have, like screenshots of things, things that he's gotten benefits for, but not benefits, but discounts for it, like, for example, his phone service.
Okay.
Something simple like that. And it says he's a U.S. Army veteran, and he has like these little, discounts because of that. So I have to send that over to him. So I don't know if you've ever spoken.
So he's getting discounts from businesses based on his military service. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know whether that would constitute stolen valor or not. I mean, I could probably find out.
Yeah, they're supposed to be looking into it. They want me to send them stuff
Okay.
via email, so that's what I'm doing.
Where did these things occur? I'm not sure with the phone company. I mean, obviously, that's probably just a recurring bill with Verizon or Sprint.
Right.
Do you have video of him like walking into a store doing this, where he's gotten like a discount on a meal, or is it just phone service? And what do you have? You say you have evidence. What do you have? Do you have a phone bill or something that says it on there? You say you have evidence.
Phone bill. I have to go back and look at everything
Right.
that we've
Okay.
done. That's what I do have.
Hang on a second.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, let me call you and I'll leave the station. I have your stuff, and when I leave here, I'll drop it off to you, okay? Okay, I'll just, perfect, I do that.
But yeah, so that's why I came here. I mean,
Okay.
I guess at this point, there isn't really a point in holding anything anymore. I met with, what do they call it, in Tallahassee, who they investigate fraud.
Are you talking about the people who are looking at the insurance fraud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have an interview next Thursday, with an investigator and then insurance.
But yeah, I believe, hold on a second.
It's Detective Mike Warner.
Yeah, I think that they do that. Yeah, I believe he's the individual who's investigating the insurance frauds.
Right. So yeah, I have an interview with them. I'll take dinner or whatever next week. When I spoke to him, he's fine. I don't have an issue with him. But when I spoke to him, I asked him why Orange County didn't try to investigate that as well, or if it's just like a Tallahassee thing.
Yeah, honestly, I really can't answer, why the things that happen in Orange County happen there. I mean, I'm right now, professional standards, they're doing an investigation into Biddler Ramsey, and so I don't really have a lot of information about that. I just, you know, I mean, I'm aware that, you know, that Jeremy's been doing this sort of thing for a very long time, this fake police thing, and I mean, he's been pulling people over, and I mean, I know since 2014, but the sheriff's office sent a letter as long ago as that, telling him he couldn't do it. And so I think this has been a problem for a long time. And I think there are some people at the sheriff's office who are concerned about, you know, the safety of the public and the fact that he's sort of nutty and would hurt somebody, and you know, when they were trying to stop it, and you know, they were in trouble. So
yeah, I know.
So
yeah, I can send you the video. I mean, I don't know, they're so large. I mean, I guess I could send you Dropbox.
yeah, you can email me a link to anything that you want me to take a look at. If you send me a link, I'll take a look at it, and if it's something that, you know, that somebody might be able to use. And again, I mean, I won't investigate it because, you know, unless it occurred in Windermere, you know, I mean, my role is pretty much done because you know, I was, you know, I helped them with the timeline of the events on the traffic stop, and I provided that to the state attorney's office.
Yeah.
State attorney asked me to review some phone conversations. I kind of did, and other than that, the inquiry, the complaint against Sergeant DeStefano was really my primary role. So when was the last time you talked to Jeremy?
Can you tell the state that he called me?
Of course I can. Yeah.
When he was released.
Okay. Do you have evidence of that on your phone? I mean, I can tell him he called you, but I think part of the issue there is going to be that I think that the sheriff's office down in Osceola, I think, responded to a call in his house because you were at the house.
No, that was in the morning. That was when he was first released.
Right, okay. Has he called you after that?
No, he texted me, but he just said stop. That's all he said.
Oh, stop, okay. All right. How much of this is his wife aware of? I mean, does his wife know any of this?
I'm not stupid, and he fooled me. And I'm not saying she's dumb, but I don't think she was.
Right. So she's unaware of the whole thing between the two of you?
And the baby and all that. No, I don't think she knows
Okay.
anything. No.
Yeah. Wow. I know that that picture of you at their house that was on your Instagram, or not your Instagram, your Snapchat.
Yeah.
I know she's aware of that. I mean, I know she did see that.
Yeah, I mean, this all stemmed because
But she doesn't know, his wife is unaware of the pregnancy. His wife's unaware that, you know, these conversations between the two of you where he's trying to talk you into getting the abortion. And I assume she's unaware that that Jeremy told you that she'd had 2 abortions.
Yeah.
Okay. Because every bit of that was reported, and I'm sure you're aware of that. And you provided information to Link Court in the past, but none of these videos that you have are of him committing crimes in Osceola County? Are they all
I
over
have to
the
go back
places?
and look at all. I mean, we obviously do YouTube, or used to do YouTube thing. And he would give me his helmet cam, and I would download it. So I have a lot of his stuff downloaded, and I have to go look at everything. So.
Okay. What's weird, I do have some questions that you might be able to help me with. So, when we arrested him,
When?
I'm talking about when we arrested him, the first arrest back in September, when the thing that resulted in the complaint on Sergeant DeStefano, one of the officers here did a search warrant on the body camera to get videos. And when they tried to download the video from the body camera, they only got videos off of a micro SD card.
Right.
There was no video on the camera itself, and it seemed as if it took some sort of proprietary software to download that video. We didn't have the software. So the officer contacted the camera manufacturer. Yeah, they were out of business. We couldn't get a hold of anybody there. And so then he tried to find the software online. He could not find the software.
Do you still have it?
We do. Yeah, we have the camera. It's here. And so ultimately, later he found this contour software. The officer did, and he found it like on one of the CD-net or one of those. He's a tech guy, and so he downloaded the software and then plugged the camera in the software.
Really complicated.
Right. Well, the camera. I mean, and the computer recognized the camera, but he could find no additional video, because I think the thought was that if he had video that occurred that day, it might be on the camera, because there was no video at all on his camera that we could find from that day. All of the video that we took off the camera were from previous incidents. And none of it
that was all on the micro.
On the card, right? But we've never gotten any video off the camera itself.
I don't think that's how he does it. I don't know.
Okay.
All I know is that every day, well, not every day, but once we're done, he will always. Okay, so when we're doing a video,
Would he delete
Yes.
video if he got pulled over by the police?
He would delete it if he was speeding or doing anything crazy. And so he said, "Well, I trust you. So I'm going to give it to you." He said, "There's really bad stuff on here, so here, but you need it for the video, so just take it." So I would take it home. I had like a little SD
Card
adapter,
thing,
right? And I put it in, and I download it to my laptop.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, the sheriff's office, when they did search warrants at his office, and they took took video off of there.
354.
I had, right when this all started, I had an Orlando police officer call me and tell me that he thought that they were altering videos and then presenting them in traffic court as evidence and get tickets thrown out. He said that he had stopped Jeremy for speeding, and that when he walked up to the car, of course his lights were on, his lights were on, and that he wrote him the ticket, and that Jeremy showed up to court with Amir, and they had video, and the video showed him driving the speed limit, but it appeared that video had been altered, like maybe they'd gone back later, driven that same route, driving the speed limit, and then...
That wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, are you aware of them ever doing that? I mean, and if so, who would have done that? Who would have?
He reenacts things, yeah.
What's that?
He will reenact something.
Okay.
Jeremy's not. I mean, he's not that he's stupid. He's not smart enough to like splice things. It probably would have been.
Well, it was the officer said the video spliced because you could not see the lights flashing. You know, the lights didn't start flashing until he was at the car door. Now, obviously, if this had been the real video, you would have seen the lights come on, and you would have seen the lights on as he's walking up. But you couldn't. Everything else you could see a video, and so it looked like they'd taken the traffic stop, they'd gone back, redriven the route, driving the speed limit, and then just spliced that into the traffic stop.
So he said Photo did his videos.
Okay.
So it was.
And Photo is
Victor.
Okay.
So Victor Lopez used to do his videos, and then it was Alec Ringdahl.
Okay.
And then it was me. So.
Would he have told Amir that the video was altered, or Amir would have just simply Amir would have knowingly presented
He would believe, he would believe Jeremy. I've seen Jeremy stand like against a wall and pretend to cry, real tears in the mirror, and then as soon as he hangs up, he starts laughing.
1827.
Amir believes anything he says, so.
Why was... I mean, Amir doesn't seem like a stupid person. I mean, does he?
I think Amir wants to win.
Yeah, well, of course. I think that's true of every attorney. I mean, attorneys don't go to court wanting to lose. But this is a big moment for him. If he gets Jeremy off, or gets Jeremy a little deal or something, then... Listen, in the grand scheme of things, this is not a big deal. I mean, Jeremy's just some guy riding around, dressed up like the police, playing cop. I mean, at some point, if he continues, something bad will happen. You'll hurt somebody or kill somebody. Something bad will happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, certainly not the crime of the century.
No. Not yet.
Yeah, and so, listen, the other thing, we took photographs off of his phone, or the sheriff's office did.
Which one? The 2019?
I don't know, the older phone and a search warrant. And there were photographs on that phone that I'm curious about. There's a photograph of him standing, wearing a SWAT uniform. And it says SWAT on it. He's standing there holding an AR-15. Have you ever seen that AR-15?
Wait a minute. But that wasn't me.
Only funeral escorts of dead family members and women and children that need our help. Sergeant,